How did you pick the countries? How did you research them? How did you plot that out?
Part of it was just getting out of the United States and traveling. You know, up until the time when Canada and the U.S. a few years ago started requiring passports with each other. Now more Americans have passports because they want to come to Canada.
More people in Michigan have passports.
Yeah, it's mostly Michigan and Buffalo, yes. But it wasn't just that long ago when there was like 70 or 80% of Americans did not have a passport. Now I think it's 67% or something. So just traveling and seeing and hearing these things, and I just pay attention. And I was on the street in Washington, D.C. I don't know what I was doing there, but this woman comes up to me and she goes, "We are #1 in education." And she was the education minister of Iceland, and she handed me a book about 100 things that not Iceland, Finland, 100 things that Finland does right. And she told me the whole thing of how they switched their schools. She said the #1 thing they did was they got rid of homework, and I just thought, I'm getting punked right now by somebody here. So it's a lot of that. In the end, the things we chose was we had a production meeting before we left with my field producers and crew, and you know, I have some very smart people, smarter than me, after the work on the films. And a couple of them, one went to Cornell, one went to Dartmouth. The editor went to Dartmouth, producer went to Cornell, cameraman went to Harvard. And I asked each of them, did they know this particular thing? Had they read this? Had they heard about it? And even though we all read 3 papers a day, most of the stuff in this movie we didn't know. So I thought if that was the case, it would be fresh to you, because I like to go to movies and learn things or experience things I don't know, not just to go and have my belief system reconfirmed with popcorn and goobers.
Most of your past films have focused on a single issue. This film focused on many issues. Why was that?
I went to Portugal and did a lot of drugs, and I was able to think on a multi-level. Whoa. No, that's only my second drug humor joke, and that will be the end of it. I don't think my films have ever done that. I don't think Roger Me was about Flint, or General Motors, or Roger Smith. You know, I mean, it was, right? And it was also about an economic system that's unfair and unjust and not democratic. Bowling for Columbine wasn't about bowling, and it really wasn't about Columbine. It was about Americans and our fear, based on a lot of ignorance, and why we have to own a lot of weapons in our homes. I mean, I go down all the movies. I think they all contain that. Sicko was about the healthcare, but it was also about all the other things. That it's not just the healthcare thing. It's not just that. It's who we are that doesn't allow us to even conceive of the idea that if you get sick, you have a right to go to a doctor and not file for bankruptcy.
Well, you know, one way people have been contrasting this film is they've been talking about it as Mike's happy movie. Can you reflect on that?
I know somebody started saying that as a crew, actually. That's a good way to put it, because actually their full title for the movie was Mike's Happy Movie, and the tagline was the No Problems, All Solutions movie. And I just thought it'd be interesting to make a movie about America and never shoot a single frame of film in America. And so that's a hard thing to pull off, actually, if you think about it. So this isn't as scattershot, I think, as we make it look like. There's a lot of thinking that went into. Somebody came up to me last night afterwards and said, during the Finland portion of the film, that, you know, of course, parents feel this way, started to tear up and crying about realizing what we have. And he said, how did you weren't, and the music you were playing was do 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 do. He says, I'm crying, and the music is going do 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 do, because usually the manipulative effect of a movie is to get the strings out and, you know, do this, and to have people cry during happy music, I think is a good idea, and cathartic, and especially for Americans. So, yeah, no, I feel I'm in a different place in some ways too in my life. So I'm kind of wanting to try and do some other things. So I hope this is that. Nobody wants to keep doing the same old thing, right? And also, we have on the way out free application forms to go to college in Slovenia. It's free for anybody in the world. And if you don't want to go to Slovenia, foreign students can go to college for free in Germany and Finland. So you've got your choice and not have to end up in debt. And Canadians quit following the American way of that.
Yeah.
We used to have it a little better here. So that's my political speech.
We're so grateful for you coming back with the world premiere of this film and sharing with us. We'll see you at El Cabalito.
El Cabalito!
So you just stay in your seats. We're going to get our talent out of here.
Where?
You.
No, let him get up. That's okay. They're all